Welcome to the Restless View Art School, a place where I show you how to draw using some various tips and tricks that I use. I am your host and instructor, Brian Daniclaw, and today I just wanted to commend you guys for watching the very first episode of a series of videos where I show you how to draw, more specifically, characters. I'll be showing you how to draw on pieces of paper, like so, and turning it into posters using programs such as Adobe Illustrator. Now, just as a disclaimer, I'm not a professional artist in any way. I'm just a hobbyist that likes to draw. And second of all, these are just going to be a series of videos going step by step on how to draw exactly how I draw. Today is the first introductory lesson. I will be showing you how to draw a character from start to finish. Something a little bit more simple and along the lines as something that everybody can easily grasp. And today we will be drawing Isabelle from Animal Crossing on the 3DS, also titled as Animal Crossing: A New Leaf. With that in mind, you guys probably need to grab some paper and pencil, and let's get to work. Okay, let's look at this. Alright, just first thing we want to do is get the camera in focus. Done. Okay. Now to start things off, originally what you're going to want to do, essentially with drawing any sort of character head, this is not by law what you need to do, but this is something that really helps, is you essentially just draw almost a base. And Isabelle's base really consists of just one big circle, as the same with a lot of people's. This is going to be the basis of her head and what you draw upon. Alright, from right here, I like to put in a little bit of guidelines, which really makes this process a little bit easier. One curved horizontal line going down, just slightly curved, not all the way, but just make sure it's in the halfway point from this halfway point to the other side. It doesn't have to be perfect, but make sure it's generally within the right area. Then you do the other one, going from top to bottom in the same motion. These curved lines will give the base a little sphere look, giving it a little bit more depth, like the head actually has a curve to it, which is sort of what we're going for. Now that you have that done, you're going to want to put a triangle right in the middle where the two lines meet with the curved top. That is going to serve as her nose, and it's going to be the basis, so where essentially her face or head splits in half. Also, it's going to be a great marker for where to put her eyes and other stuff. The eyes are just going to basically be along you're going to be touching just the top of the horizontal line, and for now just putting a little bit of ovals. Those will function as her eyes for now. From right here, you're going to want to do the hair that she has on top, which is essentially just essentially parted at the top. So from right there, you're just going to want to curve it, draw a curved line coming from your middle guideline, just above her eye right here. Then from right there, take another curved line from inside right there, and that'll just about do it. Make it kind of puff out a little bit, add like a little bit of another extra tuft, and you're good. That's one side, and the other side is just about the same. Just curve it right above her eye right there, and close it off like that. Then you do another one. Bring it back on top. Alright, now we got the part of the hair on top. What we're going to need to do is draw her ears, which is pretty easy. On this side of her face, you're just going to want to draw almost like another circle that just goes back up to her, connects with the hair and meshes with this line right here. Just like that. Then you're just going to do another one, just about doing the same thing. On the other side, you're going to want to start just about like where these two lines meet. Curve it down, half circle, and curve it back up. Just like that. It would almost look like, I guess, a curved teardrop or raindrop or whatever. And you do another one. But make sure this one kind of starts up right there. Just like that. Now that you got her ears down, you're just gonna want to put in her, I guess her top ponytail, which is easy. Just draw a half circle right on top of her head between the two parts. Draw almost like a curved or rounded diamond type shape on the top of her head, right in the middle. Then like another just circular shape right behind it, just like so. Put a line right there, and boom, you have the top hair. From right here, you can draw in her mouth. It's just a V shape down, right there. A little bit ends on it, and there you go. Her face is just about complete. Now we just gotta give her eyes a little bit more depth and a couple other things. Right now is, I guess, a good thing or a time to actually erase your guidelines, as you won't really need them from now on. At least with her head. I just give it a quick little erase. Doesn't have to be perfect. Good enough. Alright, now to finish off her eyes, you're just going to want to give her a top crescent on top of the ovals. Act as her eyelashes, or just like the outsides of her eyes, just like that. Then from there you just shade it in circular and leave a little bit of white in the middle. That acts as her pupils. It's not looking so it's looking alright. Not perfect, but it's alright. Just like that. You're just gonna want to give her a little bit of blush right there. Oh, one more thing, since I guess she's almost a cute character. Remember, there's that horizontal line. It's about like right there. What you want to do is you just want to add another circle onto that, sort of give her some cheeks. Just on that side. That's all you need. Erase that and boom. Essentially, that's Isabelle from Animal Crossing. A couple aesthetics you can do is just outline her muzzle, because the difference of color from top of her head to her mouth is different. And that's basically it. Now, if you want to go a little bit further, you can draw her body, which is not too hard, but it's a little bit more involved in her head. Alright, so on drawing her body, the beauty of the thing is that her body is not that long. She's not that tall, which is good. I would probably gauge it about maybe 1 1/4 of her head's like tall, which is good. Alright, so for some guidelines you can do is you just sort of measure that out. And also, her body is never going to go farther than the base of her head. Basically, as long as you stay within these bounds, her body will go alright. So, what I like to do is I just like draw like a curved line right there, and one right there on the opposite side. This will function as the base of her body. Draw her arms on the side, just coming out right there, curved. One side coming down like that. Perfect. Erase that line because you won't need it. For her legs, they're stubby looking little legs. Just 2 lines near the middle of between your 2 curves. That's essentially the outline to her body right there. Easy enough. Now what you gotta do is just add in her clothes. About halfway on the curved body, just draw a line right there. And right there where your legs are, just keep continuing line, which will be her shirt and her skirt. Add a little bit of aesthetic curve wrinkles to the skirt like that. And since she's wearing, I guess, a cardigan sweater, come down just like that. Almost like a half rectangle that's nice and curved. Then add another one on top for a nice outline. Bring it back down, making almost like a Y. 2 circles or buttons. Give her Nice little bow in the middle. Draw some sleeves. Her short sleeves. There and there. Boom. That is essentially Elizabeth from Animal Crossing. Now, basically, like I said, this is it. From here, you can go a little bit further. What I like to do is I need to switch out my regular pencil for a mechanical pencil so I can darken in the lines. And we'll just fast forward through this part. And then you can just add in some mistakes, like a little bit of shading, which I do a style of cross hatching almost. That. And boom. That is essentially how you draw Isabelle. And with that, you have Isabelle. Now, of course, you can go a little bit further along the way. As far as what I do is I usually like to grab some pens and I ink it in. But that's just personal preference. If you ever complete it, I recommend you to take a picture and send it to either this email or this Twitter, and maybe next video I'll showcase everybody's art. Also, one more thing I should probably tell you. On this picture, I didn't draw this. I just made it into the poster like that. I essentially did all the outlining and everything to it, but the original picture I didn't draw. And with that, next week we will be dealing with how to draw the head of a character and the skull. But I'd like to thank you guys for joining us, and I will see you next week.